My friend, I am tired of this talk AK man, but it still does the job though, right? Yes, I know, but I want to look cool, you know? Why don't you just go to Playtonia.com, man? Play what?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Old Bear, also known as Siddharth Prashant, and we are going to be seeing a game of CSGO. And today, once again, joining me is going to be...
This is Tangenberg, also known as Sri Ramashala. And as my friend just said, we are here for some CSGO action in the first shot CSGO tournament brought to you by Playtonia, which has a prize pool of $2,400 US.
And you know, this is round number 3, so a lot of contestants who have participated in this tournament have come a long way to get to this point, and we are going to be seeing who is going to head on to the next round. And you know, that is gonna... the competition is only going to get harder as you progress through the tournament. And as we saw yesterday, I guess we, you know, yesterday's matches, we usually stream around 2 matches every day, and you saw the first match, it was very even.
I mean, it was pretty even.
Relatively even.
It went on really neck and neck, but then the second match was not the case.
Yeah.
And I'm really intrigued to see what is going to be the scene today, as we are going to get started with the first match of today, which happens to be between MYNZ as well as Aneno. And I'm really... you know, pumped up to see who's going to win.
I'm actually pumped up because the map which they picked for this game is going to be Train, and that might, you know, give you some flashbacks about what happened during yesterday's second game. And yesterday's second game was actually also played in Train, and you saw that,
you know, that game I really
pick.
felt that it was like a dead rubber because it was their own pick, and they were able to get that 16-0, I guess, and it was quite not the kind of match I was expecting. But in terms of how they played, it was pretty dominant. The T's, however, were kind of hesitating to get those strats on point, but the smokes and utilities were pretty decent. It's quite sad that they really couldn't execute what they had stratted for or what they had planned for, and I think that's
it just
something
felt like
which
Dark Horse was playing that. It felt like they have been playing this map a lot more times, and the way they were familiar with. We saw one guy who would always be opping over at the T entrance from connectors, and he almost always landed those shots. And it was just getting a little too much for the enemy to actually handle.
I mean, not just that, because I really felt that Dark Horse were pretty aggressive in terms of their pushes as well as their rotations. Because when you're going to look at the CT side in train map, it's not pretty often that you see the Opper or you see the people from the CT side making their way all the way onto the T base and trying to get those frags, which is something that was
exactly what we saw yesterday from Dark Horse. Even though they were playing the CT side, they were not playing defensively, of course not. And we are going to be getting into the knife round of this first game, and let's see who is going to be getting that win and who is going to be picking which side. Because if it was me, I would actually pick the CT side, because I believe there is an option of playing a little bit more aggressive in a map like Train, and you see this right here. Everybody is just pincering, and it looks like the CTs are gonna drop like flies. 2 versus 1 right now, 1 versus 1, and that is going to be Anino Knights, and they are going to be winning. And it looks like they are gonna be swapping over to the CT side. So I guess even they want to, play the kind of strat which I was just talking about before.
And by the way, it was Anino's pick of Train, so I really think that there is a lot to expect from them being their own pick, and I think that's something which MYNZ should be little wary of, because it's not really going to be easy if you're going to play against a team which has taken a map which is not conventional.
Exclusively picked up a map like Train.
Because when you're going to look at that, usually you don't find people going on for Train or Nuke unless they have been, pretty much good at it. And I think this is something which we would be watching, and we just have to wait and see what the scene is, because it looks like both the teams are from Philippines, and it looks like probably this could be some kind of derby or something like that.
Well, we are going to be seeing which one of these Filipino teams are going to be the better one. We do see MYNZ, they are going to be doing a setup onto outer right now. We see Hero and one more of his friends. They are going to be playing over at the ladder room. They are going to be going for the push. Don P is going to be going down to Yvisar, and Wizgard is going to be taking down Don. Egg is going to be taking down Risky. Wizgard is going to be taking down Hero, as Kakarot from MYNZ finally takes a kill onto Anino Knights. And
he's going to get another one as well, as Wizgard has already spotted him. He's trying to get those shots onto his USP, but it's going to be another one for Kakarot. He picks the USP, and that's going to be a 4K at this point of time. And all of a sudden, it's going to be a one-on-one as Kakarot is making his way back on IB, probably to just see if he can try to rotate onto B or something like that, because he's still got to take the bomb, which is right outside T main. And let's see how that's going to work out for him. He's making his way across T main, and that's a lot of kills coming in right in the first round. And let's see whether he can try to clutch this off from a 1v5 to...
I feel like going for the ace is his best situation, because, the timer is going to be running out. And since he has to, sneak around, that is going to make sure that he's going to be moving a lot slower. And we do see him almost is going to be jumping down and making a little bit of noise, but stops that right now. Kakarot is going to be peeking over. There is the last guy from Anino. He is going to be over at Connectors.
This is quite surprising, because Retrinov has not moved a muscle out here, but the bomb has been picked up there by MYNZ's Kakarot. He could be going for a fake at this point of time, but no, he's going for a full plant, and Redinov is going to spot him out. He's going to take him out, and that's not going to be a plan for MYNZ. But then that's a lot of money coming into Kakarot, courtesy of those of that 4K coming out there.
And possibly, he can afford to buy a gun right now. Maybe something.
No, I don't think they'll be going for a buy. Probably
you
pistols.
Remember yesterday's game, Joshua Santos? Sorry, day before yesterday's games, Joshua Santos. Even though they did lose the first round, we saw him actually getting that 1 AK, and that eventually led them to go for the victory in the upcoming rounds.
But then, if you're going to look at a map like Train, that clearly could not that's not something which anyone would be going on for at this point of time, because they just lost the pistol round and they don't even have the bomb planted, and that's gonna be really hard. But in that case, in the previous case, we saw the bomb being planted out there, so that's gonna be pretty hard for them, as we see Kakarot getting a lot of damage out there. Just about 9 HP is what he has, but then we see the armor is what the T side have not bought. In case of Kakarot, he's the only one who got that because of that 4K in the previous round, as Egg is going to be the first one who's going to take out the guy from the T side, who happens to be Kakarot, the guy who actually almost got that previous round out there. So let's see whether this is going to work out for them. We see the T's making their way onto lower, but then Raidenov is going to get 2, and probably he could get a third, but no, it's going to be Risky who's going to take him down, as Ching the God is going to go from the backstab and going to take out Risky, and that was pretty timely because yet again the bomb was about to get planted at the time, and they were quick enough to go and make sure that this was not being into a bomb plant.
Well, I believe Kakarot could have played that a lot more slower, because he was the only person from his team who actually had body armor, and maybe if he, went back and baited Anino Knights to actually come out and check out the T entrance, maybe try to see if they wanted to, push or something. That could have bought MYNZ some more time to actually go for the plant over at B.
But then we see Hero who's going to go down at SL. He had a good angle out there, but then it was more about the timing. He just jumped right down, and he just he could have actually got that kill. But then that's what I call death from above coming out there, as Sting the God is going to go down.
The heavens are going to be smiting him. That is the line which I would use. But we are going to be seeing a Hero. He is going to be stuck over at the ladder room. If that was me, I would actually, try to back off and try to get another flank or something. Just go around the map, show your presence all over, so people are going to be a little bit more confused from the side of Anino Knights.
But then it's going to be Anino Knights who are playing it really cautious at this point of time, as we see 3 of them lining up at A side, while we just see just one person from their side who is guarding B, which is going to be really hard for them, because MYNZ are looking to push it out onto B, because we see 4 of them making their way out there, a couple of them going on to upper, and we see about a couple of them making their way on to lower. The smokes and flashes are coming out there, and looks though as if they are making their way on a B, but then the Molly is going to stop them for about a little bit of a while, and let's see whether this is going to help them out to go for a backstab or something like that, because we still see one person who is rotating on his way onto B, while a couple of them from the CD side are still making their way out there. But then Don P and his teammates are trying to spam it down, but no, it's going to be Raidenov who's going to take down one. Wizgod's going to get one as well, as Risky is going to get a couple of them and make sure that the plant is going to get secure right now. And let us see whether this can be a retake coming in favor of Anino Knights, as they are making their way on the B side. Both the guys who were there at A side have finally made it to B, and it looks like Egg could spot one, but it's going to be Don P who's going to get one. He could get another, but it's going to be the Patience which is going to fall right in front of him, as that's going to be one.
I think MYNZ have got this round, because Yvisar is going to be the sole survivor from his team, and when he's trying to go for this defuse, they can certainly, pincer him just like that. One guy from upper and one guy from lower is going to be there, so they can secure that round pretty easily, and that's exactly what they do. So MYNZ, they reclaim a round for themselves very amicably, and you have to give the credits to that person who actually got those 2K, those 2 entry frags as soon as he entered, even though they did lose one player to the guy who was hiding behind.
No, they actually lost a couple of guys out there. It was a good play coming out there from the guy at B, as well as the person who had rotated. But then look at that. We see about a buy coming in from the CD side, and it is quite surprising, because we see about 3 farmhouses and about a couple of AUGs, while we are going to see about a Galil as well as 4 AKs coming out there from the C side. So both of them are, I would say, similarly on the same page. If you're going to look at the economy, just about 500 to 1,500 is going to be the range for the MYNZ.
do have a little bit more, but it is spread out just between Kakarot and Hero, so I would not really say they have the economical advantage.
But then in a way it did come out well for them, because they managed to plant the bomb, and I think that has been a boost for them. But then the nade is going to give a lot of damage to Ivysaur. Let's see whether that is going to help him out, because Wizgod is making his way out there to Ivy, Ivy, and it's going to be Egg who's going to take down Don P out there, and Risky is going to get one as well. Wizgod is going to go down as King Kong is making his way on Ivy as he's getting one more as well, and it's going to be a 4-on-3 advantage there for my NZ, as let's see whether they can try to get the plant, and I think this should be a cakewalk for them, as we are going to see the bomb which is going to get planted at A, but then it's going to be Hero who's going to finish things off right
really
before that.
Good game sense from MYNZ. You know, they put that molly down over at ladder room. They knew that the last guy from Anino Knights was going to be coming over from that side, and that was a really good play coming up from MYNZ. They have, you know, right now they have evened out the scoreboard. They do have the economical advantage, and Anino Knights, they don't have a lot of money to work with, so they are probably going to be going for the pistol and SMGs. We do see one CZ, two P250s and two USPs. Nobody has bought any armor or any utilities, and we do see a rush coming out there, and Redrinov is going to be getting the first kill, but no, Hero is going to be securing that kill right now, and King Kong, he is going to try to line up those shots, but no, he's also going to be going down. This seems to be working out as a really good eco round for Anino. Nice right here, as Ching the God, he is going to try to push it out. Kakarot is going to be backing off right now. He is trying to play for space right here, as we do see Anino Nice, they have reclaimed 2 AKs from the fallen people from MYNZ. Don P is going to be going for that long push as a
more importantly, that's going to be a bomb drop, and that is something which Anino Knights should be taking that into their favor, because Kakarot as well as his teammate are making their way trying to take that bomb, but then he is in a good angle, but then he's going to leave that angle, and that's going to be one kill coming out there for Don P. And more importantly, they've actually taken the bomb, but it's going to be Egg who's going to get one as well, but then Egg is actually at a disadvantage right now, because he's just got about 5 HP, but then Don P has planted the bomb as well, so this is going to be really interesting to see who's going to get that, as even Don P is going to be a little low, and this is going to be really tricky for both these guys, because it's all about survival at this point of time, because the bomb has been planted, and all Don P has to do at this point of time is just wait time.
And bait. As we do see Egg, he is going to go for the bait over there, and that is going to reveal Don P's position. He is actually going to get spotted out right now, but he is going to, you know, sidestep, and
he's making his way on a CT, but then he's not peeking as well, and that is going to be my NZ picking up another round out there to their favor. That's a good play coming out there, even though he tried to waste some time. He tried to bait it out. The CT tried to bait it out. That's about good plays coming out there from my NZ. He made sure that he just played the objective at that point of time. He didn't want to peek it out and try to get the kills, and he made sure that he didn't have enough time. He got it
eventually, but yes, as you said, the timing was a factor which the CT side really did not play into their favor. I believe if he had just stuck for the defuse, it could have worked out. Maybe he could have fooled the last guy from the T side. Maybe that was not a plan or something. You do see the HE grenades falling down right there. Hero is gonna do that maneuver once more, jumping down from the ladders and trying to get that kill, but this time around we do see Ching the God, he is going to be able to get that kill, and that is going to be 1 AK being secured for Ching the God. And Don P, he's just going to be peeking over at the entrance. He's going to be able to spot out one player on top of the train, and Egg is going to be going for the retreat. He only has a USP, and it looks like, Anino Knights are going to be saving up for the next round, I guess.
They've just gone for pistols, and I think that's a smart move coming out there from Anino Knights, because they know that their economy is not that great, and probably a save would have made them buy good guns in the next round, but then they really knew that even if they are going to stop the plant or something like that, there could be a lot of money coming out there. But it looks though as if King Kong's going to get one, and Don P is making his way out there, and right below him, which happens to be teammate, there is a guy coming out there from the CT side. He is making the push, but it's going to be King Kong who's going to get another one, but he's going to get tagged out there from Egg, and Egg is going to go down as well. Risky with a timely move coming out there from SL. He's going to get one as well, but then the last two guys from Anino Knights are just on pistols. About a CZ as well as a P250.
So spread apart, and they're so goddamn spread apart. I believe that is gonna, give them a little bit more room to make a pincer or something. But look at this.
Oh, look at that. He's got an AWP right now. So this could be something heading into their way. It's going to be Wizgod and Raidenoff going to get about 2 kills right now. It's all about a 1-on-1, but he almost gets in, as Don P is going to get that AWP as well as a kill, and also a round from my NZ, because that was pretty close out there. Ching the God getting that first kill. He was getting that entry frag right and King Kong got one at Ivy while he was getting traded out there as Kakarot getting that kill out there while he took out one more guy as a trade. But the AWP coming out, he could get one, and all he had to do was just get one more, but then he really couldn't because Don P made that rotation out there and he was able to get both the guys. Even though he got tagged for a lot, he made sure that he was not able to get down out there. As Chick the God is going to get the first frag onto Hero right at T-mains, and that's going to make My and Zine make their way on B at this point of time. We see all the 4 people, including the Bomber, making their way for probably a B push because they need to get their strats right, because we see Raidenroff as the only person at B yet again, something we saw right on the 3rd round, and we are going to see that again at this point of time. But the thing is, can the ending be a little bit different? Because the last time we saw it go really close, we saw both of the guys who were alive from each of their teams with very low HP, but then the bomb had been planted at that point of time, and the priorities for the T side was just about to play time, and I don't think that could clearly be the case at this point of time. But it's going to be Tritonov who's going to get one, but gets traded out there by Don P. That's going to be just one person on to B, and it's going to be another one coming out there from the CD side and make it 3, because all of them from the CD side have made their way on a B as the bomb has been planted. But then it's all about a 1v4 at this point. From Kakarot, the last person alive, he's going to get surrounded by people out there. He's going to get one, but then the spray not really working to his favor, as when he tried to transfer that, he was able to be beaten at that point of time with that AUG coming out there from Ching the God, and that's a good play coming out there, and a round which the CTs were looking forward to, and that's about some money coming into their favor, and that's about a decent economy. While that that they could probably go for a buy, I guess.
Well, MYNZ can go for a buy, but I guess
probably pistols, because
they are going to be sticking to what they're more comfortable with, I guess.
I feel that'll be a pistol round, because for them, yes, it is going to be pistol round. We see about 3 Deagles as well as a Scout and a P250, and that coming in the way because they just had about $3,000 or $3,500 with which you can just buy an AK and just armor and nothing for your head or nothing for utilities for that point of view. But I think they could probably just go on for pistols like they just did at this point of time. Maybe just sort it out for the next round. The nades coming out there from the CD side trying to get the guy at SL, but clearly there wasn't anyone out there as the Bomber as well as one more guy from the T side making their way on a B. Let's see how it's going to work out right now, as Hero is going to spot one person right there at the blue train, and Sing the God is going to get Don P out there, just eager to get that guy onto the train and literally baiting him out there. But then the people from SL are making their way on A side, as Sing the God is going to get another one. He could also get a third, and he's going to get a third as well. That's going to be the bomb dropped, and all of a sudden it's now going to be a 2 HP Hero who's going to go down as well. And what a play coming out there, an aggressive op style coming out there from Sing the God, and that's going to be the 4th round for the CD side.
And this is getting to a really good position for Anino Knights, but they have to be careful in the upcoming round, because that is going to be a buy round for MYNZ. And MYNZ, if I have seen them play, they are getting to be pretty good when they do have their guns. The only thing they're really messing up is the timing factor in which they're trying to make the push, because they seem to be a little too slow and they seem to be losing a lot of people during those pushes. And we see Ching the God as usual. He is going to be playing over from connectors. The Molotov is going to be thrown. That is not really going to be dealing any damage to MYNZ's players. They are going to be going for the retreat. And look at this. We do see 2 people are going to be pushing over from Ivy, while Ching the God is going to be defending the site. He is going to be looking at T-main on his own with that AWP, and it looks like MYNZ, they are going to be playing it a little bit slow. We do see one guy is going to be moving towards B, while 2 people, it looks like Kakarot is going to be able to get the kill on the guy who was defending Ivy. So Ching the God does need to, watch his back, because he can get flanked pretty easily. Risky is going to be spotting one more guy on top of the train, so he needs to be careful. The blue train, he is going to be able to spot out that guy right now, but sadly his spray is going to be a little bit bad, and he is going to be losing his life on that. And we do see Egg right here. He is going to be getting one more kill. That was actually a freebie. He should have known that there was going to be a guy over there, and Egg might be able to get one more freebie, as he is going to be on a killing spree right now and make that 4. No, actually the guy from Ivy is going to be able to get that return kill onto Egg, so he is going to go down. So this is going to be Kakarot versus the world. The bomb has been dropped right at T-base. So
and that's going to be really hard for him, because he's going to go and get the bomb and probably even go for the plan. And I think that clearly is not going to be the case at this point of time, because all he has to do right now is going to go for the save. As if he's going to actually step right outside the T main, I think he's going to get caught out here, because I don't think that is going to be the case, as Yevasov is going to spot him down and Kakarot is going to go down as well. And I thought for a second that when they were going on to B, the CTs were making their way on to B. I thought he could just go and sneak a plant and get some money, but that clearly was not the case.
Yeah,
And,
Ivysaur was keeping a really keen eye. He was making sure that they couldn't really pull one under their pants, and this was, really good situation for Rick. I was, hoping he could have gone for that 4K, but sadly that was not going to be the case, and I guess it did work out in the end for them. And look at that Ivysaur, as soon as he spotted that out, the crosshair just flicked onto his head, and that was a very clean kill coming up from him. So this is going to be 5-4 in the favor of Anino Knights. Round number 10, 5 more rounds remaining for the first half to be done, and Anino Knights and MYNZ are playing this neck to neck.
And it's going to be MYNZ who are forced onto their pistols, but the nades coming out there right on Ivy doing a little bit of damage for the 3 guys who are right out there, including the bomber. But then it's going to be Don P who's going to spot one, but Yevasov is going to get one, and let's see whether he can actually build it on, because we see a 5-on-4 right now, and Risky is going to try to get one, but he's going to get taken down by Yevasov, as well as Wizgod is going to get one, even though one of their teammates got traded out there. The Molly coming there in right time, and 13 HP is what Hero's got, and he's got the bomb as well, so he's literally trapped at this point of time, and if he's going to peek himself out, it's going to be the end of him, as Kakarot is going to get that beautiful deagle right onto Ching the God's head, and it's going to be Hero who's going to try something like that, but it's going to be Yevasov with the assist of a wallbang, as well as Wizgod. He's going to get that kill as well, and it's going to be a 3-on-1 in favor of Anino Knights, while we are going to see the bomb heavily guarded with the guy at the Ivy who's going to go and take care of the bomb, while we are going to see Kakarot with another deagle coming out there. Raineroff is going to go down, and can he actually get the bomb, and can he actually go for the plant? It's all about time. Let's see whether this is happening, because and another deagle coming out there from Kakarot. He finally gets the AUG, and he's going to clutch it. Yes, he does. That was a beautiful 4K coming out there from Kakarot. He literally clutched it out, literally out of nowhere. The shot coming out there from Yevasov, he was able to hold down Ivy pretty well, even though he really couldn't help that last shot coming out there. Yevasov with that good shot, while Kakarot, he was literally screwing them up with those deagles and right onto their head. And this was a freebie coming out there. There was no reason for him to watch that side, when what he should be doing at that point of time was go on to lower or something like that and make sure he was not backstabbing. But the last guy who was right near the who was right near A, he clearly could have been the guy who could have watched out for that, because the AUG coming out there was really instrumental for him to get this clutch, and more importantly, that round actually came out as when it was a pistol round coming out there. But then it's going to be a full buy round right now, and let's see how that's going to work out for them. All of a sudden, it's already a 3-on-2 out here, as the CTs are kind of in an advantage in this round, and can we actually see another clutch coming out there, but this time from Hero? He's got a bomb as well, so that's going to be some additional responsibility coming out there, because in the last round he had to go and get the bomb and get the plant done, but that was really going to be really hard for him. But it's going to be Hero who's going to take down Yevasov, the guy who was watching Ivy for the last 2-3 rounds, and he's going to smoke it off, and he's going to go for the plant at this point of time, so that's going to be some distraction coming out there, but he is going to fake it out, and let's see whether he can get these guys, one guy right onto side and one coming out there from Ivy, and I think that's been some sound which has been made. He's trying to bait him out. The sounds coming out there from Ching the God is not going to stop Hero from taking this, as is actually going to stop him from taking this, and Ching the God is going to get
Ching
one.
the God is just playing this in a next level right there. That could have gone very wrong right there for the CD side, but no, he made sure that he did not get cocky enough. He did not use the op to actually get that last kill. He knew that the guy was actually getting a lot of damage, so he just ran over there with that 5-cent, got that kill.
I mean, I'm really surprised how Hero was not able to get that, because when you're going to look at the angle, he was at a superior angle, and he was just coming out with that 5-7, and it's quite surprising how he was not able to get that, while we are going to be here at the 12th round, and it's going to be the first frag coming out there from Ching the God, while Hero is going to get one, and Don P is going to get one as well with that CZ. This is quite surprising, because we just see Don P as the only one, along with King Kong, the Gepardon with the pistols, while we see an AK as well as an op coming out there from Hero and Kakarot. Looks like they have forced it out. The bomb is going to get planted. That's some extra money coming out there for this for the T side, while it is going to be a 4-on-3. Make that a 3-on-3, as Yevasov is going to get one as well, as King Kong is at IV, but then Ching the God has spotted the guy with the CZ, and let's see whether he can take him down. But no, it's going to be Return off who's going to take it down. It's now a 2-on-2. All they have to do right now is just wait for time, but let's see whether they can do it right now, because Ching the God is going to get one, and he's going to smoke it off and try to bait them out, but that clearly is not going to be the case, as King Kong is right above him and he has no idea about that. Can he actually try to do something? Oh my god, he just missed him, and let's see how it's going to work out. He has no idea that he's right out there, the knife coming out there. Can he actually knife it? He's missing it, and that's going to be another round there for Anino Knights. What a play coming out there. Ching the God taking him down, and I really am clueless about how he missed him out there. He was just right under him, and none of them actually saw each other except for the T-side guy who actually managed to spot him while he was making his way.
Yeah, that was
onto
actually enough information for Ching the God to go for the defuse. He knew that from that angle maybe he would not be able to get that kill. That was a little bit of a gamble from Ching the God, but that eventually did work out in his favor. So this is going to be a really good round for Anino Knights, as MYNZ, they have been forced onto their pistols. Hero is going to be pushing down the ladder room. He is going to go for the peak, try to see if anyone is going to be defending close to the ladder room. The Molotov has been thrown, so they do know there are going to be people playing near the tunnels, and they have an area. King Kong is going to be throwing down the grenade. That is going to be dealing a decent amount of damage towards Vizgard, as King Kong, he is going to be peeking the wrong angle as he's going to be getting killed by Vizgard, but he gets avenged by Kakarot on that deagle. And we are going to be seeing Redernov. He is going to defend the B site on his own. And it looks like MYNZ don't really have a plan on going towards B. They're just huddling up near the ladder room, and they might go for a push over there.
No, they're actually going on for B at this point of time. This is quite surprising, because I really thought that they are going to go for SL or something like that, but it is a smart move in the end, because it's always going to be right off the guy at B, and I think this is something which they will be expecting, that there will be a guy right near ladder, and Risky could probably just head in and try to get them down, because they still have a flash, by the way, and that's really not going to damage a lot in terms of their economy, because he's going to spot one and he could probably take him down, but no, Risky's going to get a couple of them, including his teammates, so that's really going to be a one-man down for them, and it's almost a 2-on-3 at this point of time, courtesy of the team kill coming out there, and Ching the God getting one more kill out there, and Risky's going to spot one. He has a clear sound that there is a guy coming out there from side towards his left side, and John P is going to get one, and can he get another one? The deagle shots coming out there, and most of them are potching it out, and Neversaw is going to clean that mess, and that's going to be one more round for Anino Knights, as well as an orb coming out there. Let's see whether this is going to turn something different.
Maybe the momentum is going to make sure that MYNZ cannot really catch up. And it does seem like that might just be the case, but MYNZ do have that loss bonus working for them. They have lost around, what, 2-3 rounds in a row right now. So I guess that should be, giving them that loss bonus, and that can allow them to buy a lot more guns and try to perform.
A timeout coming out there from Anino Knights, and this is quite surprising, because a tactical timeout at this point of time is actually not it's actually questioning myself about why is this going on.
Yeah, you wouldn't really think that the winners, the one who's clearly in the advantage right now, they are the ones who are going to be getting the timeout. But I guess they do have some strats to work. Maybe they want a
probably they are looking at some kind of counter strats at this point of time. As you can see, Ching the God with 17 and 7. That's dominant play coming out there, and he's more like trying to get those op shots at the start, and he was able to get those entries pretty well at the start of this game. And let's see whether Kakarot can do something. He is trying for the spams, but little does he know that Ching the God is actually crouching out there, so those spams are literally useless at this point of time, as Risky is going to go down courtesy of that Pharma shot right onto the head by Egg, and that's going to leave Anino Knights as with one more person away from MYNZ, as is going to be Ching the God, who is trying to spot him out. Let's see whether this can be another frag coming out there for him, as Hiro as well as his teammates are trying to make their way on a B, probably to spot them out, as they pretty much know that there's only one guy out there at B guarding it out. As a shot coming out there, not really connecting onto anyone. Kakarot just baiting himself out to see if he can try to get the CTs unsettled and maybe even try to come after him. He's going to get the bomb, however, which is right outside the base, and let's see whether they can probably get this kill out here, as Hero is right in front of Egg, and he's going to get one through the door, and that is going to level the number of players at this point of time, making it a 4-on-4. And can we actually see a push coming out here? Because the Bomber is making his way on to B along with his teammates, and we actually see Ching the God making his way on to connectors, probably looking at B as well. So it's quite surprising why they haven't pushed it out yet, because they are allowing a lot of time. They're actually giving a lot of time for Anino Esports to make the rotations, because the guy at Ivy is still there, while we see a couple of guys making their way onto SL as well as connectors, and let's see whether this is going to pan out in their favor. The Molly coming at the right time, delaying something for them. The flash is coming out there, is going to blind Raitrop out there, but then he has a clear idea. The people are coming right after him, and it's going to be one kill out there, as he gets stated out there by Don P. And can they actually... And a backstab coming out there from Wizgod. He's actually going to meet that up onto him, as Kakarot is going to get one. He's going to get another as well, and it's going to be Ching the God, the last person alive. Can he actually get a couple of them, or maybe not? That clearly was not the case, as MYNZ are going to get a round. And I think the timeout actually stopped the momentum in the flow, which was in the CT's favor, and they were able to, you know, start out a plan, and they were able to get on B and execute it pretty well. And the fact that Raitrop being the only guy at B was something which I would say they used to their advantage, as they were able to get onto B with those flashes and smokes pretty easily, even though we had Ching the God, who was watching B until then, who made his way onto connectors and was watching T main.
Yeah,
at
actually,
that point of
right
time.
now, look at this. We do see Ching the God, who usually plays from connectors. He's actually going to be playing over at B, and he's actually trying to go for a rush. He will be able to get a kill right now. Yes, he does, but sadly, he is going to be traded out by Hero, and Hero is trying to go for the push right there. Molly's on to upper right now.
And meanwhile, Kakarot is going to get the guy who was pushing in from Ivy, which was quite surprising out there, because we really don't see a lot of people pushing it out, and it's going to be Hero who's going to get one as well, and that probably could be another round at B for them, as the last person from Anino Knights is going to be Eversaw with that deagle right onto Ivy, and he's making his way onto the site. And that is going to be the round for Anino Esports. I mean, that's going to be the round for MYNZ, as they are going to close this half with a bang, because they won about the last two rounds, and that's something which is something they would be heading over to the second half with some confidence, I would say. That's about a lot of morale coming into their, their team and the scoreline, because if you're going to look at the timeout out there, that I feel was something which came out at the wrong time, because right after the timeout, the CTs at that point of time, who happened to be Anino Knights, were not able to win a single round after that. It was all MYNZ.
Well, then again, MYNZ did Anino Knights actually picked up the CT side when they did win the knife round. So since the side switch has happened, maybe we can see a shift of momentum. Maybe MYNZ can put out their best efforts playing over at the CD side, because it looks like most of these teams are preferring to pick over the CD side whenever they do win the toss. And we are going to be seeing Rederinov. He is going to be pushing over at A, and it looks like he does not have the bomb actually, so he needs to be careful. We see one person already down for Egg, and Risky is going to be able to get that kill. Hero is going to be pushing over from Ivy. Risky is going to be doing the same right now, and Risky, though, he is going to be shot a lot right now, but Hero is going to be there to avenge his dead friend. The bomb has been planted right here, and 2 versus 4 right now. Rederinov is going to try to bait them out and try to get those kills one by one, but it looks like King Kong is going to be there to cover his ass, as King Kong is going to be looking over at ladder room, but no, Hero is just going to be sidestepping and getting that kill onto Rederinov, and that is going to be one round going the way of MYNZ, and that is actually a 3-round streak if you don't really count the half reset right there. So I guess MYNZ right now, they are on a roll, and it certainly looks like their performance on the CD side seems to be a lot better than what they did over at the T side. So we are going to be seeing a lot of visual changes right here for MYNZ. They're playing it a lot more fast-paced. They're playing, the defense pretty well right here. And
but we see a pistol buy coming out there from Anino Knights, as they are going for 3 deagles as well as a couple of P250s. The smokes, however, is going to cancel out the guy at connectors, but that really is not going to be the case, as we see the guy making his way on a side, and we see an air push coming out there. They're making their way on to teammates, and Raitrop is trying to get one, but then it's going to be Don P who's going to get a couple of kills out there, as Egg is going to trade him off, and it's all of a sudden a 4-on-2. We see a couple of guys out there make that just one guy, as Risky is going to get one as well, and Hero is going to try to spot him out, as King Kong is going to get the last one. That's going to be one more round for MYNZ. They are killing it right after the timeout.
And this round was so goddamn fast right here. You see that he actually got those 2 kills playing from the ladder room, and
that's actually quite surprising, because when you are pushing on to T main, when you're just pushing right outside, I would always have about a guy or two watching SL because that's some of, I would say,
that is one of those choke points where you can actually get a very easy kill, and if you don't really have an eye over there,
no, it's pretty.
you can get punished for that.
It's much about a common spot out there at SL or the ladder room where you always find a CT waiting for the guy to come down from the ladder, and if not, the guy who's coming out there from teammate to get primed upon out there. But that clearly was not the case, as I really don't know why they were not able to watch that side, even though there were about 5 people who were rushing out there. And Wisgod, who is going to take that, a couple of frags coming out there from his AK, and both of them were headshots out there, and that's going to leave A out there for themselves, as it's going to be King Kong who's making his way from connectors, and let's see whether he can make a play for himself, because it's going to be a 5-on-2 right now at this point of time. We see an M4 as well as an SMG coming out there for the CD side, and probably the most ideal thing at this point to do is go for the save, or maybe even King Kong can go and try to get some exits, because even though they have some money,
having an SMG that could, give him a lot more boost for the money for the next round. Maybe he can buy his comrade a gun or two, and it looks like MYNZ are trying to look for that exit right here. King Kong is going to be the only one who's going to play a little bit closer towards the bomb side, trying to get those exits, but it does not look like Anino Knights are going to be entertaining that thought. They are going to be retreating back to their own base right here, just leaving one guy right next to the ladder room. So that is quite a good play coming out there from Anino Knights, because it looked like MYNZ, they were going on a roll, and right now they have delayed the momentum which MYNZ have gained. So Anino Knights, they are going to be reclaiming this round back for themselves, and it is quite sad that they did not get those 2 kills over at the end, because that could have denied a bunch of guns for MYNZ.
I feel like Anino Knights are pretty strong at this point of time in terms of their economy as well as their morale, if you're going to look at that, because they somehow managed to get this on to 9-9, and we see an op buy coming out there for the CT side, and he's going to spot one. He is going to spot one guy at teammate, but then the rest of the T side are making their way on a B, which is going to leave just one person out there, who happens to be King Kong. The molly is going to get taken off there with that smoke, and that's going to be a lot of information coming out there, but then the molly is going to it's going to get smoked off, and that's going to be King Kong who's going to get one, and Yevesor is going to tag a lot of damage onto one person. The bomb has been planted as well, and we see all the CTs making their way on a B, and all of them are right out there, and one guy outside for the T side, and make that actually 2. There are a couple of guys out there, and one guy who is right on top, and let's see whether he can actually stop the defuse at this point of time. It's a 2-on-2, all even Steven right now. The flash coming out there, popping it out. He is going to miss the guy who is defusing it, and both of them are trying to spam it out, but that is going to be another round from MYNZ. What a sad play coming out there from Anino Knights. They pretty much knew where they planted it.
And they do manage to get those 2 kills right after the bomb defuse. So that is, insult upon injury right there. I really did like that Yvisor was trying to go for that Molotov, making sure that the bomb defuse really did not happen. But it looked like MYNZ, they predicted that. They made sure that the smoke was there before they started the defuse.
They made sure that it was all prepared. They made sure that they had all their things sorted. And even though there were a lot of mollies being used in that fight, they made sure that they were
all
able to
nullified
get
by
the
the smokes.
And what really surprises me, what really baffled me at that point of time was that they really did not know where the bomb was, and they really was spamming right towards the right hand side of the bomb, and that clearly, it's fine if just about a guy is spamming out there, but we actually saw the guy at lower as well as upper, both of them trying to get the diffuser, but that clearly didn't even do a little bit of damage to the guy who was defusing.
All of the bullets missed, and it felt like, a John Wick movie where you're just, the protagonist just, he's going to be protected by plot armor or something, and we do see Don P, he's going to be holding down SL with that shotgun. Don P is going to be spotted out right now though, but Risky's going to be there, making sure that he covers the guy over at SL, and Yvisar once more is going to be the only guy alive for the side of Anino Knights. He is going to be making his way over towards, okay, it seems like he's just going to be retreating back to his base right here. Yvisar, this is not really a good choice right here, but no, sadly he is going to get spotted out by Vrisky over from his right hand side, and he gets killed, and that was quite sad right there, but you have to give credit where it's due. The defense was pretty good being made by Vrisky. He caught those 2 really good kills at the beginning of the round, and
he made his way all the way on a T-base and got those kills as well, so this is going right on to the CT's favor at this point of time, as we see MYNZ, who were 5-8 down, and now they've made it 11-9, and that's a formidable comeback, I would
and
say.
MYNZ have got them 3 AKs while Anino Knights have done. So when you know the CTs have about a bunch of AKs, you know you're doing something wrong. So Anino Knights, they have to make sure that they reclaim this round or something, because I do believe they will be able to buy the next round, but I don't think that is going to be the case.
As well as Risky, who are going to get those kills out there. The op shots coming out there from Donpy, literally tagging a guy, while there is going to be one more person who's going to take him down, as Hero is going to get that last kill on to Ching the God, as they are going to get their round count to 12 rounds. And look at that, the spray coming out there, literally taking out a couple of guys. He was able to get the third one as well, even though he gave a lot of damage to it, but that clearly was not the case. But then it really did the job. Just about one person who just went down in the previous round from MYNZ, as they are running away with this. And I think everything's going wrong there for the T side, and they really need to sort these things out, probably take a time out, just think about what is going wrong.
Well, Anino Knights right now, they do have their guns right there. They also have a decent amount of utilities. Let's see if they can make the best usage of them, as we do see an Ivy push coming out from Risky and one of his friends. So Ching the God is going to be the only one who is going to receive the threat from the CTs.
No, but then there is a guy right onto the base, so that's some kind of cover coming out there in his favor, because like you said, they have bought this round, and we have about 5 AKs and about 4 of them fully equipped with utilities. We have a couple of flashes, a smoke, as well as a molly for each and every one of them except for one guy. So that's gonna be something which should be working out in their favor, as Sting the God is gonna get one, and he's gonna get taken down there by Hero. He really didn't expect another guy out there at Hy-Vee, and that is a good play coming out there from Sting the God, because usually from Hero, because usually you find him at connectors, and it was quite surprising to see him at Ivy, because you always have an opper who happens to be the only opper in your team at that point of time. He usually goes there onto connectors, but probably the smoke coming out there from the T side actually made him retreat to Ivy, and that
was quite a risky play coming out from Hero, and he did get rewarded for that aggression. So Hero is going to be playing over from the Ivy and tunnel area, and let's see if he can, get a bunch more frags or something, because the T's are going to be going for the push right here. Redarinov is going to be taken down right now by Hero, and Risky is going to be ending that round by getting that final kill onto Ivysaur. So this is getting to be quite a tough game for Anino Knights right here, and MYNZ, they are giving them a run for their own money, and this is getting a little bit sad right here. I believe that if the T side lose one more round, they are gonna be forced onto pistols or something, even though the lost bonus.
They are actually onto pistols at this point of time, because they coincidentally lost the previous round.
I thought they would actually try to buy some SMGs, try to farm up in this round.
They really can't afford to do that at this point of time, because if you're going to look at what they have right now, they really can't actually afford to lose the next round, because even if it goes on to 14, they can still try to do something, because this is a map of rain, and you can always expect some kind of comeback coming out here, because they were on the receiving end previously, and now they are giving it back. Team MYNZ, as going to be Ching the God, who's making his way out there right in time before the molly had been put up for their team, and it's going to be Kakarot, who was right on top. He's going to get one, but the bomb has been planted already, and it's going to be a hard retake for them, as we see an AK coming out there. But no, it's going to be Don P who's going to get one, and Kakarot's going to get one, but it's all about timing out there, as Egg is going to get one courtesy of that CZ, and all of a sudden it's now a 2-on-1. Kakarot just with 1 HP, he's going to go down, but the molly is right out there. Can he actually stop the diffuser? But then that is going to be a fake out there, and there is a guy right in front of him. That's another fake coming out there. He's trying to knife him out, but it's going to be Hero who's going to spot him, and he is going to defuse this.
Yeah, he is going to be able to defuse that, because he does have the defuse kit, and that is going to be one more round going the way of MYNZ. And they're just one round away from getting the match point, and once they do have that match point, they can afford to do a little bit more mistakes.
But I felt that this round was actually pretty good for Anino Knights. Even though they were just onto pistols, they made sure that they did a lot of damage in terms of killing their opponents, and not just that, they even got the bomb planted. So that's actually a good round coming out there, and they were able to get the op as well on this round. So there could be something coming in their way, as they are making their way I mean, we still see them waiting out here because probably in the previous round we saw a couple of guys pushing out there as Ching the God is managing to spot one guy, but he was not able to get that shot. He just wasn't able to connect it, and let's see whether they can probably do something out here as we see the people coming out there from teammate as one of their oppos is just already being fully blinded out there as Hero, however, takes out one person even though he was blinded, and just about time where they give him a lot of time, I guess, for him to get the repeat, and there's going to be a third kill out there for Hero. He takes down Egg as well as Ching the God. That's going to be a fourth, and is this going to be an ace? And yes, it is. That's going to be 5 kills for him. Entire team has been...
what a way to actually get to match point, man. I mean,
that was a good play coming out there. He was
well.
fully flashed at that first shot, and he managed to repeat and get another, and that was the third one coming out there, and the guy coming out there from Blue Train was the last guy to go down, and was the second last guy to go down.
Yeah, the guy in SL was actually the last guy to go down. And
yeah, he just came down from...
Like, that was quite a good play coming up from Hero right here, and they are just one round away from taking this home. And Hero usually playing his usual gun right here, and let's actually.
Then they somehow got enough money to get another op at this point of time, probably because of the lost bonus, which was right now in their favor, and that's going to be one person coming out there. Can he actually get that kill? But no, it's going to be Kakarot who is going to bait him out. He could probably get another one out there, but King Kong is going to go and try to get that frag, but no, he gets taken out there by Ching the God, and that is going to leave them with a 3-on-4 situation, and there's going to be a guy coming right on front of him, right? But then the Molly coming out there to his favor, and Kakarot is probably going to get that up right onto his face, and he is going to get down as well as the flash is going to come out, and he's making his way on a P as Don P is going to be the only guy out there, and he's going to take down Ching the God, and that could probably be it because WizGod is the guy with the bomb, and he's got a scout as well along with a P250. Let's see whether he can make a play for himself as he's going to be right on the front of Risky, and he's going to get that kill as well. What a game coming out there from MYNZ. They were able to get that comeback right from 5-8 down, and they made it to 16-9. That's formidable play coming out there, and the way they had been playing the CT side was quite impeccable. They were able to get those rotations. They were able to use those utilities pretty well. More than that,
I believe that if MYNZ actually got the CT side, if they actually won the knife round and they got the CT side, I believe the scoreline would have been a lot more dramatic, because we did see them giving a really good fight even though they were in the T side, and they were actually the ones who actually ended the first half in a high note.
But then I feel that that one timeout which had been taken by Anino Knights when they were leading by 3 rounds, which was at 8-5 in the first half. After
that stopped their own momentum.
Exactly. After that, there was only one round which they had won, which happened to be on the 3rd round of the second half, which is quite sad because it was all going their way until then, right from the momentum, right for the economy, and also the way they have been playing. It was quite good, and there really was no need for them to have taken the time.
It was like they were the architects of their own demise.
I wouldn't really say that, but yeah, it makes some kind of sense out there.
Not demise,
anyways.
but architects of their own demolition of their own momentum. Like they were not. They were going on a roll. And they were just like, okay, let's take a break and let's see what is actually going good for us, because everything was going good, and I don't know why they actually, decided to take the time out. Maybe, we can counter that.
Or maybe they were planning for a counter start because back then, before they took the time out, they were all playing the same thing. We just had one guy at B, and he was defending it pretty well. And maybe they wanted to change that. Maybe they felt like there was too much to handle out there, because every round you could probably expect them to hold it out pretty well.
Actually,
in about a
Redrenov
round.
was playing that extremely well from the CD side when they were playing in the CD side. He was defending that pretty much really good as the solo person over at B. And as you said, once the timeout was done, they decided to put two people.
We actually had an upper as well as a guy who was playing upper.
We actually saw Ching the God, who was usually playing over from connectors, who was watching at T main. He was not playing that after the timeout. He was deciding to go over at B. He was going a little bit more aggressive, and I believe he did manage to get a bunch of kills in the beginning round after the timeout. But then
that clearly did not work out for them, and I think that is something which is quite sad. And probably even next time they could probably do something better than that, because I really felt that up to that moment they really had the game, and that clearly was not the case. But credit where it's due, they played really well.
So congratulations, MYNZ. You are gonna be proceeding to the next round. So ladies and gentlemen, don't really go anywhere because we have one more game of CSGO to be played in this first shot tournament with a whooping prize pool of $2,400.
But then
So,
if you just joined us right now,
yeah,
you can probably, witness the match which we have been casting right now in the highlights, as we will be joining you with the next game of today after this commercial break.
My friend, I am tired of this stock AK, man. But it still does the job though, right? Yes, I know. But I want to look cool, you know? Why don't you just go to Playtonia.com, man? Play what? My friend, I am tired of this stock AK, man. But it still does the job though, right? Yes, I know. But I want to look cool, you know? Why don't you just go to Playtonia.com, man? Play what?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Olbad, also known as Siddharth Prashant, and joining me for the second game of CSGO today is...
This is Tangenberg, also known as Sriram Vishal, and we are here for the second game of today's CSGO tournament, first shot, and we are here in the round number 3. And we actually witnessed some really good action in CSGO just about right before the previous game. I mean, right before the break, we had the previous game where we saw MYNZ convincingly winning that after getting a comeback from 5-8 down. And they were able to, you know, just turn the tables upside down, and they were able to get the win for themselves.
It felt like MYNZ, even though they were the ones who eventually picked the map train, since they did lose the toss in the beginning, not the toss actually, the knife round in the beginning, and they did not really get the choice to, you know, pick the CD side. We did see them, you know, struggling in the beginning a little bit, but once they did shift sides, we saw that the momentum was just all around for them, and they were dominating their enemies like nothing else. Like, they were just playing them under their palms, and it was not as you know, as one-sided as yesterday's game was, but still you can see a little bit of
I felt like it was never one-sided, at least till the start of the second half, because after the second half they literally couldn't just they couldn't win just
they
more
only
than
won 2 rounds in the second half, so it was just getting a lot tough for the enemies right there. And MYNZ, they played that extremely well, so congratulations once more, because you are going to be proceeding towards the next round. And for today's game, we have we
have We Baiters YOLO against
We Baiters. Yeah,
we have them against
Kamikaze
Esports, and that's something which I'm really willing to watch for. I mean, let's see.
I mean, you don't really have a choice, but the map which they actually chose is not something you guys can predict even in your wild dreams. And in 3, 2, 1, I'm just gonna say that they did pick Dust 2. I mean, I know you guys are, you know, holding down your pants right there. You're not, you know, getting a boner or something. But yes, Dust 2 is the map which is going to be played in this game. And, you know, Dust 2 is one of those really iconic maps in CSGO. And even someone like me who used to play CSGO, not CSGO, like CS 1.6 back then, I did remember playing a lot of Dust 2. Like, I can't really say I played 1.6. It was one of those, you know, CS knockoffs that you get on Steam, the free ones. And yeah, Dust 2 was still one of the most iconic maps which you could play in a game of CS. And seeing that right now in a tournament setting, coming back into the tournament setting, you know, last year it was not really in the competitive pool. And since it got back, we have not seen a lot of Dust 2 actually.
I mean, the new D2 has been, they've actually got a lot of changes out there, right from the structural ones up to, you know, the smokes and everything. That's actually affecting the smokes and all the lineups coming out there, whatever was there in the previous D2. And I think that's something which is pretty new to the people. And we actually have seen a lot of games coming out there in the majors as well as the other tournaments, where we have seen teams picking Dust 2 over the other ones. And I think this may be something like that. As if you're going to look at the track record of D2, we have been seeing a lot of one-sided games, not just in any other tournament, but even in the majors and a lot of other tournaments as well. Because D2 is not some map which a lot of teams would love to master it, because you have all the other maps to your arsenal. And I think
I'm pretty sure that Dust 2 is not one of those maps you really need to master, because ever since you start playing CSGO, this is just the map you play. Like maybe if you take on the sense of you know, familiarity, I believe Dust2 is right up there
You know,
with
it's
Mirage.
pretty easy when you're going to look at, when you're going to make sure that a person who's coming out there from 1.6 is going to play this, it's pretty easy for him to recollect what the callouts are. But then when you're going to look at the strategies and when you're going to look at the executions, I think the smokes and the mollies, they are totally different from the D2, which we have been seeing in the previous year or even the previous, 1 or 2 years back then when it was completely removed from the competitive pool. And that is, the thing I was telling you about, the uncertainty of who is going to win. You can actually never pick up a favorite in this map, is what I would say.
Yeah, because both of these teams, I'm pretty sure that if it was, a map like Nuke or Train, you would be like, okay, the guy who actually picked it, he must be very familiar with it. But when it comes to Dust2, you're pretty sure that, both of these teams would have played this a lot, not just competitively, they could have, played it a lot in pubs also. So they must be familiar with it like the back of their hand. And we are going to be getting into the knife round right now. So Tango, if you won the knife round, what side will you be picking?
I mean, I'd be fine with any of the sides because, like you just said, it really doesn't, matter to me because I feel like it's just about your executes and how your teammates feel about that. Because when you have a good strategy on up your sleeve, I think that is something which that'll actually get you the game irrespective of where you start. And we can already see a lot of comebacks out here in D2. We have seen a lot of them before as well, because D2 is a map which a lot of them will be familiar with. And look at that, a lot of trades coming out there, as it's going to be Kamikaze who are going to get this knife round. It's going to be interesting to see where they're going to go, and looks so as if they are going to switch it on to CT side, which is something which I'll be looking forward to. Even though I had said that I really don't mind whether it's going to be the Ts or the CTs.
Yeah,
but
I mean, this is one of those maps where all the strats which can be played in a game of CS:GO in Dust2 is already out there. I believe that is the case because a lot of people actually play this map. I still believe this is.
No, but you still haven't taken the factor that the map has changed over the period of the last time and this time, from the previous patch as well as this. We have seen a lot of changes coming out there from the previous map. A lot of structural changes as well as if you can look at the textures and stuff, you can see much of a difference. And also some of the buildings have.
It's like playing it in HD, man. And we are going to be seeing an A-long push coming out from the T side right now. They are going to be getting the first kill right there. They might go for the second one, and they are going to be getting that pretty much easily. The USPs from the CDs are not really working out, and we see a third kill right over there. And it seems like this is going to be a very free plan for WeBaiters YOLO. And Javier is going to be the one, going point blank right here. Look at that. He actually predicts a person is going to be coming over there over at A short. He is going to try to fire it out, and he does.
The bomb has already been planted, so he doesn't have a kit as well. So it's going to be really hard for the CT side to go and get the retake, because it was a pretty interesting buy coming out there from WeBaiters. But then it's going to be Trix who's going to get one, and he's going to get. I mean, there's going to be another person coming out there. He's going to get one, and all of a sudden it's going to be a 2-on-2 right now. The pistol round has been catastrophic for both these teams right now, as we are going to see a retake attempt coming out there. But then it's going to be Trix who is going to get that. Can he get the defuse? But I really don't think he's got a kit. He's got a kit, so that is going to save himself, and that is a wonderful retake coming out there from Kamikaze. They literally got it from nowhere. It was about a 4-on-2 at that point of time, while these guys actually went forward and got those kills, and they were able to get the retake. I'm really speechless about that, because the buys from the T side were pretty interesting, because they had a lot of flashes as well as a couple of smokes coming out there, crossing out the guys coming out there from the CT spawn. So that's something which you really don't find during the pistol rounds, because usually you tend to just rush B or go on to mid or come from A short as well, because an A long is really going to be hard, because you're right against the USPs which can land you headshots in the first round of the game, and that is going to be an M4 A1S buy coming out there, a couple of them with the M4s and two SMGs, I mean two MP9s, and we have an UMP coming out there for the CT side, while we are going to see one person down already for the T side, as they are forced on to their pistols. We see three of them with their P250s as well as one deagle, but the bomb is at A short along with another person from the T side, as they are trying to execute an A at this point of time. We see Japan trying to get one, but then it's going to be Trix who's going to take halfway down, and Germanium is going to get one guy from A short as well. So that's going to be
Yeah,
that
this is
we
gonna be very,
would be
this is gonna be
looking
very
at.
difficult for
We are going to look at
debaters.
one more round for Kamikaze, I guess, because they are 5-on-2 at this point of time, and Kimochi is going to go down, and that's going to be the bomb which is going to get dropped out here as the CTs are securing it at this point of time. We see Triss, who is making his way onto high mid, but there seems to be too many people out there, as Trix is going to get his third opponent in this round while they get the second round for themselves.
And I mean, they didn't really lose anyone in that fight. We did see the guy who was defending along with that M4A1S was getting a little bit low, but you know, he really did back off and get that kill onto Kimochi, who was trying to go for the push onto A-Long. So it was pretty much a very easy round for the CD side. And adding on top of that, they really did not need to... actually, it looks like they really did not upgrade their guns in this round. They're just going to be rolling with what they had previously. As we do see the SG coming out from Kimochi, he is going to try to get a pick off over at mid. He is going to be making a lot of noise as he is going to be pushing over at A short. Fly is going to be defending B side on his own. The Molotov is going to be there onto A short, delaying Kimochi from actually pushing forward.
And that's actually trapping him out there. There were a couple of mollies out there, one right in front of him and one right behind him, which was leaving him in a fix at that point of time as they are making their way on A shot. The bomb is still with the guy at A shot, while we see Hafir, who's going to take down Trix out there right at mid, and which is going to leave them at in a really tricky spot because they're making their way. The CT side has been smoked right now as we see a couple of them, including the bomber, trying to make it onto B. Looks like they are trying to close it in, but it's going to be Fly who's going to get a couple of them as Hammer's going to get one as well. All of a sudden, the bomb is right on the hands of the CT side as we see both the guys from the T side making their way on a B. And this is going to get really tricky out there because they need to get the bomb at this point of time. There's no point in saving it because they're not going to get this round anyways if they are not going to push it out, as we see Hama watching the balcony out at that point. And
actually, it's not a bad idea for V-Baiters YOLO to actually save this round because even though this is pretty early on in the game, you see their economy is pretty much in shambles. And if they are going to be risking to, you know, try to go for the bomb, it is going to be quite difficult. But I guess they are going to be able to get that bomb right now, so they can, you know, retreat back to B. But they need to be careful because we see over at Upper Tunnel, there is going to be one guy, and he is going to be able to spot out the bomber before he plants the bomb, and that is going to be V-Baiters YOLO losing one more round, and their economy is going to be left in shambles. It was a, you know, really good setup being made by the T side, but you saw it right here. The guy who was going to be defending over at B side, he just came out and got those really quick 2 frags, and that just wasted a lot of time for the T side, allowing the bomb to be, you know, placed over near CD spawn. And
then I feel like even though they lost the round, it's not going to be really costly for them to even buy it out. We see about 3 SMGs coming out there for the T side, as we are going to see one with a scout and a CZ as well. So this is quite interesting. They're making their way on A along with the bomber, as we actually see a couple of guys on to B and a couple of guys near mid and A shot, as we see the guy from CT rotating on to A, and let's see whether they can probably take a kill out there. The boost is going to help the guy to go on to A side and up and try to see if there are people coming out there, and he spots a lot of them. There's going to be a lot of people coming out there onto A. Looks like it is going to be an A, and we see all the 4 CTs making their way onto A side, and the plant is going to be made at this point of time, as the nade is going to come and try to give a lot of damage, but not really doing so.
Only Hafir is going to be taking a bunch of damage, and we do see Hafir with that scout. He is trying to defend the side from A short, and we see JMSA is going to be going for the push over there. He has actually crossed over at A short. He is going to be on site, but no, he is going to be switching up for a grenade, and he is going to pay for that with his life. There is going to be the last guy over at Goose, and they need to be careful. The MAC-10 is going to be there, and he is going to be able to get the kill on the guy who's going to try to go for the defuse, but sadly, you know, there was one more guy over at CT ramp, and he just goes for the push and gets that kill and gets the easy defuse. Very good, and that is going to be Kamikaze Esports with a 4-0 score in their favor.
And more importantly, that was another retake, being a 2 men down at this point of time, and that is something really commendable coming out there from the CD side. This is actually the second retake when they were at least a man down compared to the T side, which is quite, you know, that actually shows the prowess of the CT side, which happens to be Kamikaze. And let's see whether they can pile on to this pressure onto V-Baiters, which they are inflicting at this moment. It's going to be Kimochi who's going to get that first kill onto Hammer, as we see a couple of guys from the CT side making their way on a B, and JMSA is actually stalking the A long doors to see if there are any Ts making some mistakes, some costly mistakes by peeking it out, as we see the 4 the four T side players making their way on a mid, while we don't see anyone from the CT side making their way on a mid. So that's going to be some easy mid control coming out there for the CT side, for the T side, as Frix is making his way on to CT spawn, and he's going to get Driz as well. So that's going to be all even Steven for them, 4 on 4 at this point of time. Let's see whether they can push it out and try to get a plant. They are making their way on to low tunnels, and probably this should be a B coming out there for them, but it's going to be Japan who's going to go down, and all of a sudden it's going to be a 4 on 3. He's just going right on top of those boxes, so that is something which Hafir will not be actually looking forward if he's going to push it out really fast, as the smoke is going to get put up out there. The pop flash coming out there is going to blind a couple of them. Can he actually go and try to take down a couple of guys? But no, but more importantly, the information has been given out. There is a guy from the CT side at CT base, and he's going to take down Kimochi, which is going to leave the T's on a disadvantage, because right now they are 2 men against the 3 of them from Kamikaze. Probably one of them rotating all the way from tunnels. Let's see whether they can probably make a play out there. They can probably get this retake, but it's going to be Hafir who's going to get one, and JMSA is going to get one as well. But this is going to be the first round there for Weebaders, as Funny is going to get a couple of guys right on the end of that round, as they are going to get their first round of this game.
And that was, you know, quite a good round coming out from the T side right there. Weebaders, they played that very slowly, and they did, you know, they didn't get rewarded by, you know, winning this round. And once the bomb was planted, even though it was a 2 versus 3, you saw that the guy who was going to be playing over there from who is going to be looking over at the B doors, he actually got those 2 really quick frags, and that eventually led them to win that round.
And I really felt that the guy who was at CT could have been taken off if there was a smoke being put out there at CT base by the T side, but looks though as if the CT side are making a push out there, all of them onto pistols, and already a couple of them already gone, as we see a guy at A long, and he's going to go down as well, courtesy of the Galil coming out there from this. But there is a guy making his way onto lower tunnel. He's going to go down as well. He's going to perish as well, as Fly is going to be the last person who is alive for the CD side, who is making his way on mid, and he's going to go down as well. Japan's going to get that, and that is going to be the second round in a row for Weebaders YOLO, as they are finally getting on track, and they are good on their economy at this point of time, and the CTs with that pistol round are going to probably go on for a full fight this round. So this could be an even contest at this round especially. Let's see whether they can get this out, and looks though as if there has been a pause coming out there, some kind of tech pause between the teams, and I think this would get over pretty soon, and we can just go ahead with the next round, which is it's actually leaving us in a cliffhanger at this point of time, because 4-2 is a pretty decent scoreline to start with, and the 4 rounds coming out there on a row is actually going to add to their morale. But then 2 rounds coming in the last 2 rounds coming out there.
I'm sure that if Kamikaze lose one more round, I guess they are going to be forced into the eco, because their loss bonus, look at that, it's just going to be 2, and since they are going to be buying out right now.
No, I feel even if they are going to lose this round, they would be having enough money to go for at least pistols and armor.
At least pistols and maybe an SMG or 2. But
no, they won't be going for an SMG because it's not too hard.
Look at that, they all have 0 money over at their side right now, and you see the terrorists, they have at least an average of 3 grand for each and every one of them, so I guess they are pretty safe right now. But if the CTs are going to be winning this, I guess the game is going to be a little bit more even Steven in the economy wise. But you know, when it comes to the morale, you need to be winning all of these rounds back to back if you are going to be, you know, inflicting some psychological damage onto your enemies. We do see Hafir, he is going to be missing that first shot. The smoke is going to be there, making sure that the Molly over at long doors is not going to be dealing any damage. Hama is going to be rotating back over to A long, and okay, he is going to be able to see the guy who's going to be jumping over there. The flash is going to be there, making sure that he's going to be blinded, and that is going to be Kimochi going down, as Trix is going to be able to get one more kill onto FNNY, as Japan, he is going to be peeking over from LT, and he is going to be able to get that kill onto Trix, as Driz, he is going to be keeping a keen eye over at mids, while Hama is going to be the only player over at A. Not the only player, JMSA.
I mean, they're actually leaving B behind for the CT side, as we see Fly making his way back onto CTs, but then the bomb as well as his teammates. Oh, this is quite tragic coming out there. Hafir had to do that at this point of time, because he It's quite surprising because they were already a man down, and we still have Japan with just 18 HP, and this happens from Hafir. Probably he just went for some kind of spam, but that really did not turn out the way he wanted it to. As I think Fly is going to get a couple of kills right now. But no, it's going to be Hafir who's going to deny that he's going to get one, and probably if he's going to waste a lot of time out there, that's going to allow the CTs to make it on to B. As we see Germanium making his way onto the ledge out there, probably even trying to spot him out. But it's going to be the Opper in the form of Hama who's going to take on the Opper, who happens to be Hafir, and that's going to be one more round for the CT side. 5-3 is the scoreline. That's a good play coming out there from Hama, but I really don't understand.
Yeah, I feel like if he actually had that bomb planted, he could have, given his team a little bit more
I really
money.
felt that this shot out there was quite questionable, because if it wasn't executed, if the shot was not there, if he didn't want to go for the spam at that point of time, that could have been one more person for them at B, and could have worked wonders for them, but that sadly was not the case, and that's how CS is. It might be cruel, but it has to move on at the end of the day, as we are going to see JMSA. He's going to get 2 kills out there out of that one shot coming out there from the op. It's going to be Driss as well as his teammate who are going to go down, and we see both the guys from A-Long who are trying to get a pick out here, as Hafir is going to get down. JMSA, that's going to be one person down at A. Make that 2, as Hafir is going to get a second as well. The smoke which is going to deal some kind of barrier between the CTs as well as Ts at this point of time, is going to buy them a lot of time to go for the plant, but then it's going to be Kimochi who's going to go down. The bomb is being planted, however, and this is going to be a 2-on-1 in favor of the T side, but both of them are low, so just about a couple of bullets coming out there from the CT side could probably do a lot of damage, and looks like that is going to be the case right now. 12 HP against the 30 HP Fly. Can he actually spot him? But no, he's not spotting him, but a bot shot coming out there for Funny is going to make him pay, as Fly is going to spot him out and take him down, and also the defuse also adding 4 rounds as a lead for Kamikaze.
That was so crucial. Like, that was so crucial that he got that shot on the guy who was pushing over at CT ramp, and once he missed that, you saw it right there. This is going to force the T side to, actually go for SMGs or pistols, because right now I believe they don't have a lot of money to work with. So
I think this is actually the second round in a row where a crucial play could have been averted if they just had to, if they just could have held their ground. I really don't understand how he had to miss that, because it was quite simple. All he had to do was just, get a bullet or 2 onto his head, or maybe even his body, because he was just about 30 HP, and just about a couple of bullets would have done the damage. That would have got him the round, but clearly that was not the case, and I think some kind of Butterfingers is actually going to, cost about a round or 2 for V Payers, and let's see how it's going to work out this round. However, both of them buying it out. We see a couple of M4A1Ss as well as an M4 and an AUG and an AWP coming out there, as Germanium is going to get the first frag out there. The Molly is going to make the T's retreat, but it's going to be Japan who is going to take that risk, and he's going to pay it with his life. The boost coming out there is going to help him out by going up, but JMSA as well as Trix are going to make sure that this is going to be their round. A clean sweep for them, 5 of them alive, and that is going to be the 5th round which they have as a lead. 7-2 is the score line, and I guess they are running away with this in this half at least.
Well, right now you are not going to be seeing a lot of buys coming out from the T side. They need to save up a little bit of money so they can go for AKs over the next round. So I guess
they're actually going for the pistols, which is quite good in this point of time, because anyways their loss bonus is at the maximum, so they really can't lose anything at this point of time. They're making a B rush out here, and he's going to get a couple of them out there. Kimochi as well as Triss are going to make sure that the guys at B are going to go down. There's just one more guy out there in the form of Hammer, but the smoke is going to act as a barrier between both these guys, and the Molly is not actually landing where it intended to, but looks as if he's making his way, trying to go for the no-scope, but that is going to miss as well. So JMSA as well as his team at Germanium are going to retreat at this point of time, but then he is going to get spotted by Hafir. But mind you, both of them are engaging in a fight right now. JMSA is probably trying to go for the exits, but then what he needs to worry about are the guys who might be pushing from the LT, because they pretty much know that there are people at the mid side, so I guess they should be going on for the LT, and looks though that is going to be the case as well. We see about all the 5 CTs, all the 5 Ts making their way on a T base while they are hunting them down, is what I suppose, as but they're not going to find anyone, but probably they are going to find one person there, but no, that is going to be the end of the round, and that's going to be about a couple of guns which are going to be saved for the CT. beautiful play coming out there from the T side. They really were bad in their economy at that point of time, but they made sure that the P-Rush was quite instrumental in getting
all
them
the money they lost with those SMGs, and rushing B, even though it might be a meme strat over at Reddit, I believe that it is pretty legit when you are on the backhand. And we are going to be looking at Hafir. He is going to be trying to go for the peak over at mid. He might be able to get that kill, and it looks like Japan, he's just going YOLO over at A-Long, and he's going to get punished by Germanium. He's going to be getting 2 kills in a row, and JMSA, he is going to be keeping a keen eye over at A-Long. The flash is going to be there, making sure that they have a distraction.
But then the Molly is going to get him out of position, and that's going to be 1 kill. Make that 2 funny, as well as Hafir are going to get 2. As JMSA is trying to make a play happen for himself, he switches his gun onto an AK, but that is going to allow time for Fly as well as Trix to get those kills. A beautiful backstab coming out there from Fly, making sure that all this is being sorted off for the CT side, as they are going to pile up one more win out there. In terms of the rounds, that is. The Molly was pretty instrumental in getting that frag out there. There were a couple of guys at the car, and it was pretty much, they had to get a guy out there, so they were, pretty much on the driver's seat at that point of time. They were just able to get that Molly out there, as we actually see the CTs making their way on to B. We see a couple of them out there, while the mid guy, who happens to be Hammer, is going to get Chris out there with the help of the AWP. The smoke not really working in favor of the T side, as the CT side's players are actually making their way. They are sticking on to a 2-1-2 position right now, and let's see how it's going to work out, because if you're going to look at the utilities, I feel that the T's are better on that point of view, because they still have their flashes, smokes, as well as mollies at that point of time, and that's going to be just one person in A for the CTs, as they are making their way onto the rotations. The other persons out there, as Kimochi as well as his teammates, have already made it onto A shot, and it's just about time where they are trying to go and make this play for themselves, and all of a sudden it's going to be 5 who's going to get one. He's going to get another as well. It's a 2-on-1 in favor of the CTs, and the last person from the T side is making his way on a CT, and Trix is going to get one as well. That's going to be a 9-3 scoreline. This is quite good coming out there from the CD side. They're playing a really fast-paced game, as well as their rotations are on point at this point. And I think the T's really need to make something or make a change in their strats.
I feel like the only time that the terrorists are actually winning this game is when their pace of gameplay is just a little bit faster than Kamikaze Esports. As we are going to be looking at the peak, then that is going to be Kimochi who's going to be getting the kill onto Hama. And it looks like the CTs are going to be down by 1 person at the beginning of the game. And it looks like a mid into A short
it looks
push.
like an A short push out there. The guy from B was quick enough to go onto mid, but I really think that is not really going to work out unless he's going to go for a backstab. But let's actually see how this is going to work out. We see the guys pushing on to A short. The smoke's coming out there, delaying their push, but then he is moving in front, but it's going to be JMSA who's going to get one. The jump coming out there from Fly is not going to help him out, as Kimochi is going to go down. That is going to leave B exposed to the T side, but they are not falling back. They are making their way inside, but Trix is going to get 2 of them, and he could probably get a 3rd as well. What a shot coming out there from the guy right onto the ledge, right below A shot, but it's going to be Funny who's going to get 1, and JMSA is going to go down. But then they still have a guy at... They still have a couple of guys out there, but there's going to be Germanium who's going to get the last guy, who happens to be Funny, courtesy of the flash coming out there from Trix. What a play coming out there. A couple of shots coming out there from the AWP was enough to set them this round. It was quite unfortunate that the guy who was backstabbing was not able to get that. Look at that. A couple of guys going down. He got the first shot from the guy who was jumping, and the second shot, the second guy who was right behind him had to die as well, courtesy of just that one bullet coming out there from the AWP. And that was a quick play coming out there, and that really did not work out for the T side, however.
And we see Kimochi, he's already going to be down right now. And one more person is also going to be going down. JMSA is going to be getting that kill. And Japan is trying to make his move onto A-Long. The bomb has been dropped. They do see the bomb right there. So Germanium, he has a keen eye over there. He's going to be throwing down that molly, making sure that they are not going to be able to get that bomb right now. And he is going to be able to see the guy behind the blue box right there, blue crate. Germanium, he is going to be pincer right here, as we are going to be seeing the grenade coming up from JMSA's going to be able to get the kill onto Japan as Drizzy. He is going to try to get the kill, but no, he runs into A-long doors with that knife, bringing a knife to a gunfight. Driz, oh my god, that was a mistake if I have ever seen one, and he is going to pay for that dearly with his life, and that is going to be the T side yet again with another loss in their hand, and that is going to be pretty hard for them to come back. So let's see.
This is quite you know, a good strategy coming out there from the CTs. Even though Germanium had spotted a guy, he knew that that was the guy who had the bomb, and he once he had dropped the bomb, he made sure that the incendiary coming out there from his side was able to get the person who was trying to get the bomb out there. But then looks though as if the T's are making their way on a B, as Strix is going to get the first frag out there. He is trying to get that AK out there, but that HE grenade is going to actually send it towards the CT side, as we see 3 of them from the CTs making their way on a B. But then Hama is going to make sure the Japan spray is going to get met upon by the AWP, but then the flash is coming at the wrong time, as Fly is going to get one as well, as the CTs are making their way on a lower upper tunnel, and they are going to get this round. It's 12-3 in favor of Kamikaze. They are running away with this, as they have this 9-round lead, which is really going to be hard for them, for the opponents in particular, to get the comeback coming out there after the round switch. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you actually think that they can go for a comeback? Because
I don't think that we Beaters can actually keep up with the pace, because I feel like if it was a map like Train, where, you know, people have the preferences, people mostly prefer the CT side, the defense is going to be pretty much easier over on that side. Maybe then I could have expected a comeback, but in a map like Dust 2, where everybody really knows all of these strats, everybody knows a lot of these smokes, even though the map has been changed, this is going to be quite easy right now. But no, we do see the A-long push coming out from the side of Kamikaze. They are going to be able to get 2 kills right here, only one person down, and let's see.
It's actually Kamikaze who lost about a couple of guys out there, and let's see whether they can actually get more. But then it's going to be, oh my god, that's going to be pretty sad for them, as they are just left with one person out there who happens to be Trix, against 3 of them from you know, the CTs. It's going to be really hard, but then he's got a USP. He got one. He can probably get a couple of them as well, but the bomb has been dropped. He's making his way behind, but the shots coming out there from the CTs, literally missing almost everything out there, as we see both the CTs making their way on a CT spawn, as they are actually peeking at a good angle. The boost coming out there is going to make sure that he is making his way onto the side, and he's switching back to his Glock, and let's see whether he can probably clutch this, because in the previous half we saw the first pistol round being clutched out there by by Kamikaze, as they actually fought from a 2-4 situation and won that round. But can that be the same case out here, as Kamikaze Strix is making the rotation again? He has
tons of time to do this, and the fact that he has a Glock right now, he can make sure that if it is going to be a close quarters fight.
But even though he's got a Glock, it's really not going to it's going to be really easy for the CTs to rotate again and again, because but then he's actually got the guy who was about a lot of HP, but then it's now about a 22 HP Japan to see whether he can actually get this round for them. It's a 4K coming out there for Trix. The last time we saw a 4K, he was not able to convert it, but this time it's going to be Trix who's going to get that 5K hit. It was actually an ace coming out there, an ace in a pistol round. That could be probably a good buy for him in the next round, because that's going to be a lot of money. A good type of defense coming out there from the CT side, but then yet again, I think Kamikaze are going to be the masters of the clutch, because this is the second pistol round clutch we have seen from their side. The first time it was a 2-on-4, but this time it was literally Trix all the way, and looks though as if he is going to buy an AK for himself, while we see a 3 SMGs and a Galil coming out there for Kamikaze, while SMGs have been force bought out there for 3 of them from the CT side, which is quite surprising. We see a couple of guys without a buy, and that's actually gonna That's quite...
Oh, this is going to be a free A side. Okay, Germanium is going to be going for the reload at the wrong time, but, you know, good thing that he actually jumped over at CTs, and we see Japan with that pistol. He is going to be able to get that kill onto 2 people. Kamikaze Esports, they are going to be making a very reckless play right now, but then again, they have the bomb being planted, and there is going to be
they
a
have
over
planted it according to their guys' position, so this is going to be pretty easy, because if you're going to look at the CTs, they just have a Galil with which they can try to get that kill, but then all the others have just SMGs, and that's not really going to help them out. We see a guy coming out there from A-Long. He's going to go down as well. It's going to be a one-on-one right now. It's going to be a fit against Trix, and obviously it's going to be Trix who's going to get that. He is going to clutch it out again. What is this? Is this guy a monster? I mean, he's been clutching it ever since this first round, and that is going to be another round coming out there for Kamikaze. This is a sad play coming out there from the CTs, as they managed to lose another 3v1, which was totally in their favor. All they had to do was have some kind of,
if they had
utility.
a smoke, maybe they could have actually gone for the defuse.
But then if you realize just 3 of them went for SMGs, while the other 2 didn't even buy anything. Probably they were saving it for the op, but that clearly did not go their way. Probably a utility or 2 could have helped them out in the previous round, but sadly that wasn't the case. And let's see whether they can do something from here, because 14-3 is the scoreline. They have an 11 round lead, which is literally stomping the CTs at this situation, and we see Fly taking out another. That's going to be 3 of them, 2 of them from A shot. That's going to be another one as well, as Japan is going to get one back. And can we see an ace coming out there from
I don't think we can see a
Oh,
ace, because Trix actually got killed by the Opper at mid, and we see he's actually looking over at mid, and one more guy is gonna try to save. Why? This is it's 14-3.
And
I mean,
by the way, it was actually Fly who got the 3k at this point of time. It was not Trix. So I still think that he can still go for the ace, and let's see whether he can do it, because all they have is an op as well as a farmers, and their economy is not going to help them out. All they can do is just try to go for a save, because they can actually try the next round, because if they are going to just throw it away this round, they really can't have any money for the next round. They won't be having an op as well. That's like literally no point of them going and fighting. So I really feel how it's going on for them. And can they actually do something? I really don't think they can go for a comeback, because
they can.
Maybe a round or 2 from here would be doing something for them. But then I really don't think they can get a comeback, because we haven't seen a comeback from 15-3, because I've seen a lot of them from 7 or 8 down to 15, but 15-3 is beyond saving, I would say. And the fact that they haven't even taken a timeout at this point of time is really worrying me, because that's not how you try to go for. But then it's going to be Germanium who's going to get one again, and they are pushing it out, as Kimochi is going to get his second kill courtesy of the Deagle, and the first one coming out there from the Molly. And we are going to see a 4-on-2 this time. And can we Baiters for one time try to get this? But it's going to be Fly who's going to get one. Can there be another clutch coming out there from Kamikaze? We see a guy who is at CTs, who happens to be, he's going to go down as well, and all of a sudden it's now a 2-on-2 from a 2-on-4. We see an Oppo as well as an AK coming out there, but then that's going to be one person down and make it a 1-on-1 right now. This is going neck and neck between both these people, as we see Japan as well as JMSA as the 2 people alive. The pistol coming out there is not really going to help them out, and that is going to be another clutch coming out there, and another win for them. And Kamikaze are literally through to the next round with a humongous scoreline, 16-3. What can I say about that? They literally had about 4 or 5 rounds to their favor, but they really couldn't do anything about that. A lot of clutches coming out there. I think about 4 clutches coming out there, right from 2-on-4 and 1v3.
And most of them being done by Trix, so we have to give him the MVP of this game. And well played, Kamikaze, because you guys are gonna be proceeding towards the next round. And what a game that was, and what a familiar, seeing a game of CSGO being played on Dust 2. I don't even feel like I'm catching. I feel like I'm playing that. That's how familiar I am with a a map like Dust 2. Like the only map which I can play, by the way. Don't tell anybody else.
I mean, you just said that on stream, so I guess everyone would be knowing that. And looking at the score, I think this has been an eventful game, and we saw Trix literally storming through the defenses of the CT side, as well as they have been holding it pretty meticulously when they were on the CT side. So this has been a really good game for Kamikaze, and I think they are gonna face they are gonna face a good opposition in the next round. Probably even someone
it's only going to get tougher
caliber.
as much as you climb the ladder. It's only going to get tougher. And first shot, It is getting interesting. It is getting very goddamn interesting, and we are going to be seeing the best players of Southeast Asia just face against one another in this whooping online tournament with a prize pool of $2,400. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't really go anywhere. If you guys don't know anything about what happened right now, we'll be playing the highlights in a little bit. But before that, go ahead and like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Instagram so you guys know when we are going to be streaming next.
And not just that, because we have seen a lot of people who really couldn't make it to this tournament. And if you actually feel that you didn't want to miss the next one, and you should be doing what my friend just said, just go on to the subscribe button, just get down to the comment section, just tag your friends out there, like and share, and also subscribe. Like our Facebook page as well, so that you can stay updated. And like my friends just said, we are gonna be back to a next game tomorrow with the next round, as we will be signing off. And before we leave, we are going to leave you with the highlights of this match which we just casted, so the people who just came right now can have a look at that and see all the beautiful plays which we have been seeing that in this game, and also the clutches which I was being I
Give
have
the
been
goddamn MVP trophy to the tricks. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ulbat, also known as Siddharth Prashant,
and this is Tangenberg, also known as Srinath Vishal. We'll see you tomorrow for the next stream.
My friend, I am tired of this talk AK, man. But it still does the job though, right? Yes, I know. But I want to look cool, Why don't you just go to Playtonia.com, man? Play what?
Music.